Hi, welcome to NSF Forum, a program specially designed for you, the fans out there. I'm your host. My name is Oluwafemi Ashaolu, and today on the show, I have with me in the studio a seasoned analyst and the president of Cape Verde. Cape, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, let's quickly give you a sneak peek into what we'll be discussing on the show today. Of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, people have continued to talk about the performance and the play of the team. Especially, the person at the center of controversy is the coach. A lot of Nigerians have continued to call for a sack. And of course, the international break is over, and we have the European leagues back, the Premier League, the Spanish La Liga. So, Cape and I will be taking you on a trip into the world of football. So just pull a seat to yourself while we go together on this trip. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back, and it's still Niger Superfans Forum. Cape, let's delve into the issue. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, of course, we've secured qualification to the final playoff of the 2022 World Cup, but a lot of tongues are still wagging out there, particularly the coach, Gernot Rohr. A lot of people have called for a sack based on the performance, unimpressive display of the team. So what's your take on that?
I think those who are calling for a sack, they do have a case. And seriously, I also have the belief that in a group that had Cape Verde, Liberia, and Central African Republic, these are not particularly strong teams. We shouldn't be struggling against teams like this. And in the history of Nigerian World Cup qualification, for the first time, we ended up drawing and losing at home against teams of this caliber. No disrespect to anybody. But so when people feel sufficiently outraged to call for a sack, I think they have a case. But then, I am not convinced that sacking Rohr is the solution to the problem. Because
particularly at this time.
At this time, one. Then secondly, those who put Rohr in charge, when they had the opportunity to say, hey, thank you for your services, you can go, they renewed his contract. Now they want to use him as a cover for their own incompetence. So sacking him now for me is just like trying to cover BS with a fine cloth. For me, that's not the way to go. And if you're sacking him now, then they should be ready to announce the name of the new coach within 24 hours. Seriously, because we do not have the luxury of time.
But you don't just get good coaches right there waiting in the market.
We should think twice before we talk about sacking him. It's as if we are in a bind now, we are in a catch-22 situation now. You want to sack him, fine. Do you have somebody to replace him immediately? Because by next month, December, we are going into camping for the AFCON.
Yeah.
And then we are also looking at
the playoff will be our opponent for the playoff will be revealed in
in December. So for me, if you don't have a coach that is ready to step in, then we don't have any business talking about sacking him. Maybe we can look at the terms of his contract and talk about it, but not talk about sacking him if you don't have a ready-made replacement waiting to take over within 24 hours.
Okay, but talking about his contract, of course, it's been revealed that the major demands in the contract is he has to qualify the Eagles for the World Cup, and also he has to get to at least the final of the AFCON. So, in the real sense, Rohr is on course.
I agree with you, Femi. He has satisfied the terms of his contract.
Of course.
And nobody anywhere writes into the contract that you must play good football. But hey, there's a way you play and you win ugly. That some people feel this is just below us. You can struggle against England, struggle against Cape Verde or Ghana, but not against Liberia, not against Central African Republic. That's what we are saying. And it has happened before. We've seen it happen in Brazil.
Of course.
We've seen it all over the place. Serious countries, they take their football religiously. So when you are not playing to the standard they expect, even though you are winning, they tell you, thank you for all you've done, please, you can go. I am all for relieving him of his job, but what I'm saying is we should think twice before we say he can go. Do we have somebody to take over now, or we're just going to fire him, then use the next 3 months to search for a coach? That's the issue at stake now. I think everybody's almost agreed that he should go. And let me shock you, I am one of his biggest supporters ever since the day he was appointed.
Of Gernot Rohr?
Of Gernot Rohr, until very recently. When I just discovered this one has come as far as he can go. Let him go, let somebody else come over. That's the nature of coaching. You cannot be a coach forever.
Of course.
You come, you coach, you go, somebody else takes over. If somebody wasn't sacked, he wouldn't have been appointed in the first place. So for me, it should go, but who are we lining up to replace him? That's a big question. Okay,
like it has always been said, there are two types of coaches, those that have been sacked and those who are waiting to be sacked. And of course, apart from that, what NFF are actually worried about is Rohr's, the clause in Rohr's contract is about $2 million. So where would that payoff even come from? $2 million to pay him, where is it going to even come from?
When they were signing the contract, did they have some money deposited in the bank that they felt they were going to use to sack him? Because everybody, the day a coach is employed, everybody knows that a day like this is going to come. You know that a day like this is going to come. So let nobody use that as an excuse to bind us, that because they don't have money. Fine, they don't have money. But they just, if they are going to sack him, like some people are clamoring for, they should also look at that. You're sacking me, do you have the money to pay him? Or you want him to drag us before the international community that we cannot pay coaches and we are all already owing him some backlog
of course.
Salaries. So all of this is bad press for Nigeria. Either we look at it. So it's better to pull the truth now. It will be painful, but at least you have relief over the longer period. So for me, I think the time is now, the time is right. Let him go. But let us know
who will replace him. That's a problem. So Nigeria seems to be between the devil and the deep blue sea. Of course, let's leave the Super Eagles now and let's go international. Kyle, the international break is over and the European leagues are back. This weekend, of course, we'll be looking at Liverpool hosting Arsenal. That is the 4th against 5th. Mikel Arteta at Arsenal seems to have been able to turn around the fortune of Arsenal. They did start the season very well and he came under intense pressure. For you, do you think Arsenal will be able to get anything at Anfield?
They can. And when I say they can, it doesn't mean they will.
It is possible,
yeah,
but it's not certain.
It is not certain. Everything is possible in football. Nobody thought Central African Republic was ever going to come to Lagos and defeat Nigeria in Lagos. So everything is possible in football. But the facts on ground, they suggest that Arsenal can do this. Fine, they've had a decent run. But also you have to think about the fact that they've not played a so-called big team in the run that they have had. So we have to factor that into either. Liverpool find themselves in very unfamiliar territory now. I can't remember the last time they were 4th or 5th on the table.
Yeah.
They've always been top 2 in the last 3
I remember the only game they've lost so far was to West Ham before the international break.
So they want to bounce back as quickly as possible. And honestly, if you ask me, I think this would be a difficult one for Arsenal. At Anfield,
going away
at Anfield against a team that is hurting, that they lost their unbeaten run, and against West Ham. Now they want to quickly get back into the groove, and Arsenal will just be the scapegoat for all the Avengers. Okay,
let's talk about a couple of injuries, injury worries for Liverpool. Robertson, of course, he might be out. Sadio Mane also, he had a knock, he sustained a knock during the international break. Do you think a couple of these absenteeism might affect Liverpool?
Definitely, first thing, they are always, no matter how good a squad is, they are always the first team players and the squad players. Definitely, a player of Robertson's or Mane's caliber, their absence will be felt.
Of course, certainly.
By any team. But the good thing is a squad. So there will be capable replacement. Like I've always said, any team in the top 6, I expect that your player for each of their positions, they should be one of the top 6 in the league. So if Robertson is not there, anybody who is going to take his place should be of equal quality. So that will not be an excuse if they don't get to win the game. You cannot tell me it's because we are missing this person. You're talking about Liverpool. Your players are supposed to be at this level.
Yeah.
So if you cannot get a replacement for him, what happens when they go to the Nations Cup, for example? What happens if the injury is long term? Will you say because of that the FA should postpone your games? No, definitely the show must go on. So definitely there will be other people to replace them. Fine, they will be missed, but their positions will not be left empty. Somebody will come in and play, and those people will be quality players too. So I expect them to put on a very decent.
So are you saying that in January when the AFCON will kick off, are you expecting Liverpool to already have a replacement for Salah, Mane, and even Naby Keita, who will be going to the AFCON?
I will be surprised if the coach is not thinking in that direction already, because he knows that he's going to lose these players for at least a month. And these players didn't come yesterday, you knew when you were signing them that they are our players of African origin, and that our own AFCON normally comes during the season, not at the end of the season like the World Cup or the Euros. So
at the very busy schedule of the season.
That is the problem, given the nature of the Africa. So for me, I think already he has a plan in place. It may affect the team because you don't use a Salah and Mane at the same time. And it will not affect you. But hopefully, it will not affect them so much that it derails their ambition of winning the league again.
Then you must be taking in direction of having an Mbappe or who else to replace someone like Salah and Mane in your team.
Not necessarily. Sometimes situations demand brings up the best in some people. There are players you keep on the bench you do not rate highly until you need them. They come in, step up, and they even perform better than the players who have kept them on the bench all along. We've had it in 1990 at the World Cup. Argentina had a goalkeeper. He got injured in the first game. Nery Pompidou came on, and he became the first team goalkeeper. When the keeper the injured keeper got back, he couldn't get into the team. So these things happen in football. It's about you seizing the chance when you have it. So these players will come in. They've been getting paid for not playing. Now you have the chance to play and show the coach that you are as good as
prove your coach wrong.
That is as simple as that.
Okay, let me put you on the spot.
Okay.
What are we looking at in terms of scoreline?
This game?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be both teams are going to score. But Liverpool will score them. You know why I said so? The Liverpool defense has really not been tested the way I think it should. And that's because they have a midfield and attack that keeps you perpetually on the back foot. That doesn't allow you to unleash your own potential on them. You understand? So for me, I think at the end of the day, it boils down to who is able to test them the more. And Arsenal, as it is now, they are full of confidence. They keep running at you all day long. So I don't see them not scoring. The only thing I don't also see is them not conceding. And Liverpool at full flow will score as many as they can. So for me, that's why I think it's going to be a score game. Both teams will score, but Liverpool will outscore them.
Okay, we'll wait and see what will be the outcome of that game.